how are you going to make a song called Copy when you're directly copying someone? What's up, guys? Welcome to Venture First. My name is Alex, and remember, in order to venture deeper, one must venture first, and that's exactly what I'm here to do today. So I just released a video that Eminem disses Amber Heard, and I got a comment saying, you cut off the last part where he shouts out Tom Macdonald. Well, that last part is a continuation where he says Tom Macdonald is a hoe. He said, I know why he did that. His fan base can be brutal to the views. True. I am a Tom fan. I am a huge Tom fan. I'm going to preface this completely. I'm going to read you the rest of the comments, and then we'll get back into it. I said, I just went back and looked at it. I figured the beat just played out from there. I definitely would have commented on it. Ha ha. I'm a Tom fan, but I also get the criticism. I try to be objective about things. This is very true. I am a huge Tom fan. I love his political music. I love his personal music. I love Nova as a cinematographer behind his music. I love his whole production. So this video is not me hating on Tom at all. I really do want to preface this. I am a Tom Macdonald fan. I will come out and just say that right now. So, he comes back and says, then I have to ask, can you objectively break down his Tom Macdonald diss? Speaking about Lil Byte, the guy who uses an AI synthesizer to recreate Eminem's old voice from like the 2000s era. Try to figure out all the double meanings, references, wordplay, rhymes, punchlines without being biased. Some YouTuber named Blank did it, and literally every bar went over his head. He'd nitpick the smallest things that did not matter at all, or even go on about a typo in the lyrics, not getting the punchline because of it, and needing to have proof for literally every claim made in the lyrics. Can you make a real objective breakdown of that song? I consider myself a hip-hop head, so I love bars for themselves. I don't care who gets dissed. Hip-hop is all about the competition. So I said, why not, but I will definitely have to preface this video. So this is me prefacing the video, like I already did, claiming I am a Tom Macdonald fan, okay? So this is me breaking down the bars at a subscriber's request, a new subscriber, which I am very thankful for. So please do not hate me. This is just me breaking down the bars as a reactor, as someone who likes to catch double entendres and wordplay and rhyme schemes and everything else that is involved in rap music. That is me doing this. So sorry for the long intro. Without further ado, I am going to break down Lil Byte's Tom Macdonald diss, but I promise this is not me hating Tom Macdonald. I promise you. The beat's hard. Just a copy. Tom Macdonald diss. And he says Tom Macdonald is just a copy. A lot of people have claimed that because he's a white rapper. He himself has made Dear Slim claiming that Eminem is one of his greatest inspirations. And I don't know why people hate that. Having inspiration and having someone that inspires you to make something greater and do something as big as Tom has done it. I don't know why that's an issue, but I get why they call him just a copy. A lot of white rappers get labeled a copy of Eminem, no matter if they sound like Eminem or not. If you're a white rapper, you're Eminem. That's how it is. It's a curse. That's how it is. Sorry, this is a long video. I'll try to not do that.
Tom Macdonald, but copycat, cause this pussy tries to be everything I bespeak, but like the dying tree, he leaves off that we're not alike, not in the slightest.
So already he's a copycat, a pussy tries to be everything I bespeak. So he's a copycat, a pussycat is a pussy is a cat. Like a dying tree, he leaves off all that we're not alike, not in the slightest. So they're not alike at all, not in the slightest. Like leaves off of a dying tree, when a tree dies, it leaves off. Okay.
When you're looking down, you gotta try some E. When I'm
try some E. I don't know. I'm guessing he means ecstasy. Looking down, Tom has a song called Don't Look Down where he says, I'm up in the clouds and I'll never look down. Great song, by the way. It's a 7.5-minute anthem of him just destroying a beat. So go check it out.
Looking down, I got as high as I can be, just like the chrome.
So when I'm looking down, I got as high as I can be.
One too many face downs. No, for you it's chromosomes. One too many face down, cause you're...
Okay, so right there he says, when I'm looking down, I got as high as I can be. That's a diss on himself. When I'm looking down, I got as high as B, claiming that he's already reached his peak and he's never going to be as high as he is right there. So that's actually like a self diss, if you look at it that way. One too many face downs, though. For you, it's chromosomes. One too many face downs. If you have one too many chromosomes, you have Down syndrome. Okay, that's kind of hard.
No, for you, it's chromosomes. One too many face down, cause you're a... This bitch is counterfeit. Every ounce of him is just a...
So counterfeit's a copy.
Okay. This bitch is counterfeit.
So right now, I understand that he is, he uses Eminem style, but already he is if you go back and listen to Eminem's Bully, you're just a bully. That's this right here. So if you go back and listen to it, this is almost like an exact copy of that rhythm in that chorus.
Sounds of him is just a. I'm about to rip a
Copy, like paper. Okay.
You better stay still like a photo.
Okay, a still is a photo. Bar.
I wanna punch him in the mouth, but to knock his block off is a curveball. This ostentatious dirt pong got a hard on for my first songs. Is he pompous cause this shirt's off?
That's cool and all, but like we all do, don't we? Don't we all? We love Eminem's first work. That's what made us stand as Eminem's first work. So I mean, yeah.
No, it's pompous cause he jumps off to his gun. That's cause the worm thought he was Marshall, so it's turned on. What the gargle, all this sperm drawn, so do swat is the worst call unless you want come on your arm. I'd rather park him to his firstborn, but Bob knows you love birds, call for abortion makes sense. Cause in order for Tom to talk to a god, a sacrifice of the appetite ball to be served. Boy, got my arms, I brought the turmoil as the bombs drop when these birds show, so it's fuck Tom and his girl, no adjustment.
He's basically saying that he has to sacrifice his firstborn with abortion to talk to a god. Be served, boy, a god is served. Okay.
Why? I chop chumps with guns who prop 'em, but never got shot at shotguns. A shock and shock and a stop 'em. No PTSD nonsense, I get him the chair. Cause I shall shock him. Got this cocksucker so vividly scared of a cock he would hop run from a video shoot.
So basically, I chop chumps with guns who prop them. So people that are propping fake guns, like fake gun bars, but never got shot or shotguns, so never got shot like 50 Cent or shotgun. So the people that just use them as props, but never actually shot him. Basically, when he shows up with a gun, he's gonna shock him. No PTSD. I get him to cheer. Usually when people have issues like that, they develop some sort of PTSD from those situations. And when he shows up, he gets him visually scared. That's what he's saying right now. And he would run from a video shoot. You shoot when you're shooting a video. He's saying even that type of shooting would scare him.
What if bars could box pump? It'd be irony, cause I will lean and tower over you. I know tower. When you are the one who gets clocked, son. Bitch, know that if you claim you like me.
So I don't know if. So he says lean and tower, so like the lean and tower of pizza, it's you who would get clocked, son. I don't know if he's trying to reference like Big Ben, the big clock, but those are not the same thing, so.
It's a colossal insult, but to claim you like me is the Stockholm syndrome. He wants to get beat by me so bad I should have him pay the cost of 100 grand. Ha ha ha, I got a question. Are those tests like beta what? I'll be honest, you look like a tramp whose face dissolved. Degradation laws explain it all. Your DNA is flawed. You're just a copy of Hobson who got pop and copying me an imitation for the copy. That's why your generation.
Okay, so I get this line, but I don't agree with it in any way, shape, or form. He's saying you're just a copy of Hobson who got pop and copying me. A lot of people say that Hobson is the black Eminem because a lot of his rhyme schemes when he first started and a lot of his flows were very similar to Eminem. And so he's saying that you got popular copying a copy of me. So you copied a copy. I don't think Tom Macdonald sounds anything like Hobson. I don't see the similarity in Tom Macdonald and Hobson at all. So it would be a cool line if that was a direct fit, but that's another miss for me.
You stay but not without me. Your brain will pause, just picking over. If you want to generate a thought. To you I may be ancient, but make no mistake, your babe would take my balls, be playful, then play some more where they lay alone, the tonsils lubricate them, and make them soft, even if they just are a bit rugged man with shady ages, tossed away like medieval towns, then she'll pray for more, but Tom reminds me of Facebook fraud, cause he wants to be young so bad he would date a minor, that plays the dolls, like the third wife of a certain prophet, and way off topic, so I shut up, you copy, and paste my song, take my darling in your best rapper ever, it's plain plagiarism, you play hidden day is done when he breaks apart like Stevie Knight does with the wordplay I lost.
So right here he's saying if you want to generate a thought, so like, think of something or a thought like a, hoe, he's talking about Nova very disrespectfully, I might add. But make no mistake, your babe would take my balls. So basically saying that he could still get with Nova no matter how old he is, even if he is ancient. And then he goes into some other stuff that I'm not going to say because it's unnecessary for me to say. So with Shady's age tossed away, so like cut the age out of it. It doesn't matter. He wants to be young so bad. Yes and no. I mean, he's like, what, 30? That is young, right? I'm 25. 30 is young. So that's not another hit for me. But I do like that you copy and paste my songs. My Darling and Best Rapper Ever, it is very similar. Those styles are very similar, but he is not the only one to do that. He says it's blatant plagiarism. It's not. I think it's inspiration. So Best Rapper Ever is him talking to him inner self, where My Darling is doing the same thing, but there are some slight differences even if the style is similar. So that is, I get where he's going with it.
Like Stevie Knight does with the wordplay. I lost the set of blaze the fake and make them bathe in flames. The way they palm incineration, lay waste cremating Tom, which may explain what Tom remains to be nobody. So I guess nobody famous or great got maimed or harm. And don't think I don't know about those sales you bought.
So make them bathe in flames, napalm, incinerates, cremating Tom, so all those are burning. So why Tom remains no body? So he's saying that Tom is still nobody. No body as in his body is gone. Nobody famous or great got maimed or harmed. So he's calling him not famous, not great. I think that is, a song. I think that is a play on to his song Famous. And then it says, don't. I'll just play this.
Even though those numbers are pretty much the same as not. Hey yo, Paul, did you make that call to the data collection company so they would haul Tom's? What is still on play record? My cheeks red like numbers.
So I get the don't think about the sales you bought even though the numbers are pretty much the same as not. So he's basically saying don't forget about the sales that you bought even if they're they're nothing. Even though you bought all those sales, it's still nothing. That is a cool line. Against anybody else, I think that is a cool line, but being completely independent, Tom does numbers, and that's not a lie. You can see the numbers that he pulls. Even as, if you just compare his YouTube to other independent artists' YouTube, he's insane. So as anybody else, that line would hit. I don't think it fits because it's not true. So I think anybody else that hits a lot harder, but because he does do numbers, I think to a Tom fan, to anybody that knows Tom, that doesn't hit as hard. And then the data collection company line, he is calling him out because of the video that he did talking about the Brave, where they screwed him over on the #1 because they wouldn't, take his data collection. I get where he's going with that, but a lot of this stuff, this is a 7-minute track. I think a lot of this stuff could have been cut down, in my opinion. I think if you take 7 minutes and condense it into 3.5 minutes of the hardest hitting stuff, you probably have a much better song than 7 minutes of this. So I'm 3.5 minutes in. I apologize for stopping so much. I'm just trying to catch everything. But in my opinion, this is too long. He could have literally cut this in half, kept all the hard-hitting stuff, and it would have been better. It would have been more impactful. Because at this point, if you're trying to catch anything, as just a casual listener, it's probably lost on you at this point.
It's still on play record. My cheeks red like tomato sauce, or is it tomato?
Tomato. Okay.
My motto, fuck it, here's a hook that'll break your jaw. Now that I call a knockoff, but like a band-aid to rip off me would be painful,
okay,
dog.
so he's
But
a
the
rip-off
saddest
to him.
bitch must be a masochist, cause there he goes again.
So right there, like a Band-Aid when you rip off me, so he's a rip-off of Eminem. Okay, see, like that, he should have just used stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff he should have cut out.
And the Master Jason on. Shit, I hope you take it all in, cause I'm about to tell you what your famous brought. It's amazing and way beyond your...
And right there, I'm about to tell you what your fame has brought. You can't say okay, so if you listen to rap, if you are a rapper and you contradict yourself, in my opinion, nothing else that you say matters, because if you're contradicting yourself, no one else has to do it for you. The point of a battle, the point of a diss, is to attack someone and for them to come back at you. But if you're contradicting yourself in your own song, then what's the point of it? So what your fame has brought. But 3 minutes ago you were saying you're not famous and you're not important, but now you're famous. Okay, so that's a nitpick for me, but that's just how I look at stuff like that.
Imagination, dog, here it is. Hello?
Yes, can I take your order?
Yeah, can I have a Big Mac and a large soda? We'll leave out the small fry, cause I already ate the one. We're not the same, you...
So he's a small fry in the game. Again, not true. As an independent artist, Tom is huge. So saying that he's a small fry, yes, maybe compared to Eminem in the grand scheme of things, but in the scheme of things now, in the current platform and how listeners listen to music, he's definitely not a small fry. So, eh.
I let my cards out of the weed. I ways apart cause I can be Felix Garcia chain and cuffs, and you would still fail the part to get ahead of me. Not even if the same restaurant chain saw me in your name and gave you funds.
So now he's comparing Macdonald to McDonald's. I think at this point he's just trying to write. At this point, the last few, maybe 2 minutes has not really hit for me. So I think at this point he should have just stopped.
Like the songs of me at the VMAs, because all Tom will do is die and be a nameless bum. Me, I remember back when I was thinking.
That it sounds like one of Tom's choruses as well.
In the brain, what fuck you do? I don't discriminate whether they disabled or gay. Been this way since I came on the scene. I seem to penetrate with pen to rage. My pen is game and intent to rape and send them straight to hell with his bravest 6 D. I go so hammer.
So that was actually, I mean, it was dope in terms of rhythm and rhyme scheme. Again, at this point, he's not really saying anything. He's saying a lot of stuff that does not have anything to do with this diss. The rhyme scheme's dope. And to say I don't discriminate whether they disabled or gay. So Tom, on the surface, it may seem as if he discriminates, but if you really listen to Tom, he doesn't. So at this point, he really is just throwing in anything he can, and like I said before, he should have cut this off at like 3.5 minutes and condensed all of the nice hitting stuff. But like the pin-up rage, my pin is game, intent to rape, and send him straight to hell, his grave is 6 feet deep. Like, that's dope, but why? It doesn't have, in my opinion, it doesn't hit right here.
Game and intent to rape and send him straight to hell, his grave is 6 feet deep. I go so ham on the steep, his limb on the need to bend and relieve him of his hand and his feet, and that's the reason he has to be a Middle East. Turn him in. This man overheats, cause word has been his fans only be conservative, bitch, assholes only. After this will be like the new MacBook release. Tell him famous, so Tom's whole gang is him and then over.
Okay, so I'll go ham on this thief Islam. So ham, Islam, Jewish, they don't eat pork. But again, it just, I don't see where any of this really hits right here. This man overheats. A word has been his fans, so overheats, fans, conservative bitch assholes. Not true. I know people from both sides of the spectrum. I'm a very moderate person. I try to look at everything very objectively before I make an opinion. I'm a fan of him. I know people on both sides. So does he have a lot of conservative fans? Probably. He makes political music. Does he have a lot of liberal fans? Probably. He makes very good music that makes you think. Does he have moderate fans? Yes, because I like to look at the landscape of everything as an objective landscape to make a decision. So again, at this point, he's just saying nothing to me. But I get it. I mean, it's a song. The whole gang is him and Nova. He always says it's just me and her, and then his sister and his brother-in-law. So I'll see where this is.
After this will be like the new MacBook release. Tell him famous. So Tom's whole gang is him and then Nova. Please, when looking at having.
So, sorry, I just caught this. He'll be like the new MacBook release fanless. The new MacBooks supposedly have no fans for cooling. That was actually a hard line, but again, it just gets lost in so much. There's just so much being thrown at us, and none of it is hitting. That those things that should hit, like that, when things should hit hard, like I'll leave you fanless, like the new MacBook release, that should be a hard-hitting line, but it's not because it gets lost in all of this.
Gallo on me, while it's
Gallo on me, so like hanging, but his gallo on him is in,
and it would need it, damn up to squeeze his neck so can see it hang over thee. Lampos to keep my hand on to lean and stand till I see will gag on my meat. That's how you hang over gang. So
that's how you hang over gang. Okay, I mean, I like to play on words, but I think you probably could have made a better metaphor there to hit hangover gang.
Rebel indeed, cause that'll be the only time me in a spotlight is see Daniels and Peach. Jesus, like I handled the wheels of Fred Flintstone. Cause it's set in stone that this bitch got ran over clean. I was snapping this queen like I'm Thanos and seed. Another one bite the dust.
Okay, so snap on this queen like I'm Thanos, another one bites the dust, so when he snaps his fingers, everyone goes away.
I mean, I heard that song there, Slim, and you finally done it, G. I now regret that I ever blew up, shining so publicly, cause you said you would've committed suicide if it wasn't for me.
So that right there is what I'm talking about. That is the hardest hitting line in the entire song. So I regret getting so big because you were able to do Dear Slim and talk to me personally and say that I would have committed suicide if it wasn't for Slim. But he's saying that I wish I never would have blown up and made Stan, made these songs that made you a fan, sold you that NFT beat so you could make this to tell me that. Because I wish I wouldn't have made that because you would have committed suicide if I was never there. That's the hardest hitting line in the entire track, and it gets so lost because at 5:53 there's still a minute left. Most people would have clicked off of this video by now. That's just me being objective here. Honestly, I don't think I made it this far in the first listen through. So as a fan of rap, even once you start hearing 30 seconds or a minute of someone that you don't necessarily know, this isn't really Eminem, so I don't really know this artist Lil Byte, you get lost in this and you click off because at this point it's just fucking word vomit, right?
Now we're stuck with just another. This bitch is counterfeit. Every ounce of him is
Going
just
back to the chorus.
I'm about to rip.
I do like the chorus. The chorus is dope.
This bitch is counterfeit. Every ounce of him
It
is
sounds just like Bully, and Bully's one of my favorite songs because he rips in that diss track, but he never really raps. It's all kind of just like singing, just like.
You better stay still like a photo.
Is there more? I hope this just rides out because at this point you can't really sing.
Me, I remember back when I wasn't being compared to freaks that be so impaired.
So he's doing a flip. So in Dear Slim, he's saying like, I'm getting compared to you. You don't know what, I'm being compared to you. And in this, he's saying, I remember when I wasn't being compared to freaks that be so impaired. So like now not only are you being compared to me, I'm being compared to you. So I get the flip.
In the brain, what fuck you do? I don't discriminate whether they disabled or gay. Been this way since I came on the scene. I seem to penetrate
dope,
within the
but it doesn't
range. My
really
pain is game and attempt to rape.
I guess it was
straight
really
hell is brave as 6 feet deep. Put your back into it, Nova. You don't want your boyfriend exposed, do you?
So when they left that comment, they said he was a Tom fan and he asked for proof for everything. I get it. If this was Eminem and he was saying a lot of this stuff and he pretended like he had proof, I would get it. But you don't need proof from someone that's not Eminem claiming to be Eminem. You don't need proof from someone like this. He's just writing a song using Eminem's likeness, which is actually hilarious because how are you going to make a song called Copy when you're directly copying someone? I get the inspiration. Again, we all get the inspiration. We get Tom's inspiration. We get Hobson's inspiration. We get my inspiration. We get anybody's inspiration that has ever grown up listening to Eminem. But you're literally calling him just a copy when you are literally just a copy. So overall, it was okay. There were some hits. There were some misses. I don't think that I would ever listen to this again. I think this Lil Byte has incredible talent when he does write. He writes just like Eminem. I would like to see his real work and see if he has anything that's original. And he's not just a copy. But yeah, so let me know. Did you like this diss track? I personally didn't. There were hard-hitting lines, but overall 7 minutes and 10 seconds is way too long, and you lose the point to it. So yeah, thank you for recommending me do a breakdown on this. I'm sorry if I upset anybody. I promise you I am a Tom Macdonald fan. I promise that I'm not doing anything to intentionally, ruin Tom's reputation. This is just a bar breakdown that I got requested to do. I will infinitely be more of a Tom fan than I will be a Lil Byte fan. That's just how that's going to work. But yeah, remember, in order to venture deeper, one must venture first. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you.